number 8 Papa Delta, on course to the west is approved.
On course to west, number 8 Papa Delta.
And number 8 Papa Delta, caution wave turbines for a Galaxy Jet 4 miles west of the airport at 2,100 feet in case you go through the airport on flight path and contact Potomac departure.
I'll be watching for the jet Potomac departure, number 8 Papa Delta.
November 44 Sierra, on course to the west approved, runway 34 right, clear for takeoff, wind 010 at 3.
On course to west approved, clear for takeoff, 34 right, 7044 Sierra.
Number 5 Whiskey Tango behind the Diamond to your left, taxi to the ramp via Bravo. Monitor ground, have a good day.
After the Diamond, taxi to the ramp via Bravo, monitor ground, 5 Whiskey Tango.
Clear wing 83, verify when you're turning base. I'm not sure if the restricted area to the south of the airport is active or not.
Okay, we're in the turn now for clear wing 83.
Okay, interesting flight. Plan today is to go down to Chesterfield. There's a B24 down there with the Collins Group, along with a B17, a B25, and a P51. I'm interested in the B24. My dad was a waist gunner on B24s in World War II. He was in the 5th Air Force, 380th Bomb Group, stationed in Darwin, Australia, and Mindanao, Philippines. He was a waist gunner and also ground staff. The goal today is not necessarily go down there and get a flight, but it is to go down there and to at least get a tour through the airplane. I think it's going to cost me like $30, but I think it's worth it. The history and seeing what people are in and maybe documenting that a little bit, especially for my family, my kids who don't really understand this stuff, and they haven't seen it. So it should be a pretty good flight. I've got Richmond up ahead on my nose. I'm looking at Lake Anna out here on my at my 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, 1:30. Got a bunch of birds out here buzzing around, and Chesterfield traffic, Skylane 7044 Sierra is final, runway 33, Chesterfield.
Just an operating cost. Chesterfield traffic, Sirius 524 Delta Alpha, clear, runway 33. No, we didn't care very for flight either. Look what just happened out in California. That was a big fire, wasn't it? It was a big box.
Right, flaps up, mixture back, cow flaps open.
60. The government, you're never going to see now. Let go. The heroin stuff, the opioids, they made their own market.
Chesterfield traffic, Skylane 7044 Sierra is clear, active, runway 33, Chesterfield. Chesterfield Unicom, Skylane 7044 Sierra, where you want us to park? Is there room in between those two?
Richard Unicom, I'm finding out for you right now.
Chesterfield traffic, 62 Sierra Foxtrot, 3 miles out on a 45, downwind for 33 Chesterfield.
Okay, this is B24 Witchcraft. Do a quick walk around. You can see the engine's a little smaller cowl than a B17, but it's a double row radial instead of a single row. And the reason cowlings are oval is because there are oil coolers on the sides, out on the sides to help keep the engine cool. You know, this tricycle gear sits pretty low. And interesting thing too is the double tail. They actually found out later it flew better with a big single tail like a 17, but they didn't change it. The Navy had a version. Like I said, my dad was a waist gunner. There's the waist gunner position from the outside. I'll get inside and show those. They got the tail. Got the tail gunner turret. It's pretty slick. Side. Alright, here's the inside of the B24. It's a little bigger than a B17, although honestly it's not much. These two waist gunners are right across from each other, as you can see, and these guys would be running into each other. And the ball turret's retractable. They've got this one pulled up in here, so it's retracted. They retracted on landing so it wouldn't drag on the ground. Not a fun position to be be in. There's really no armor here either, so kind of interesting thing. You can see the ball turret, oxygen, the oxygen things. This is the waist gun ammunition thing, and it used to have 9 yards of ammunition on a belt. Basically, if they said they pulled the trigger and forgot to let go, they'd give them the whole 9 yards because they fired all 9 yards of it. So I'm not sure how many rounds that was, but it was probably only about a minute and a half of ammunition if you pulled the trigger and didn't let go. Okay, here's the thing in the bomb bay. This bomb bay is actually twice as big as B-17 bomb bay. I'd go through it, but I just tried a little bit ago, and I'm not going to make it. So I think I'm going to just leave it here and go back out the other way.
50 cows could pump out like.
Okay,
inside a 50 rounds per minute.
This is inside a 17. I rode in one of these the other day. This is a different one. But the waist guns, you can see they're separated so these guys don't run over each other.
Which one sucks?
Also, the one I was in had armor plate that basically protected them from the waist up. There's actually a little more room to move around in here, not much. You can see the ball turret up there into the radio operator navigators thing in the bomb bay, and then up to the cockpit. We'll go ahead and walk on up and see what we can see. I got this canopy off the back. It's kind of nice, you can see. Keeps it from getting really hot in here, which it would get really hot in here. You got the navigator and radio operator stations where they'd sit. Pretty good stuff. Here there's the canopy, they got it stored. And you can see the bomb bay, and up to the cockpit. I'm going to go ahead and head on up into there. Here is the business end. Oh, look at all the modern stuff in here. They still got original instruments over on the side, but they got some modern stuff in the center. Throttle quadrant. Kind of cool stuff. Oh. Chesterfield traffic, Skylane 7044 Sierra is departing runway 33 to the north, Chesterfield.
Chesterfield Unicom, Cutlass 216 Juliet Alpha, radio check please.
Retro Executive Unicom, here loud and clear.
6.
Master Tower, Diamond 458, Mike Alpha is 8 miles to the west, landing east ramp with information Delta.
Cessna 528, contact Potomac departure 127.32.
Cover departure 2732, 528, see ya.
Cessna 44 Sierra, turn right, taxi to the east ramp, monitor ground 121.8.
Turn right, taxi to the east ramp, monitor ground 121.8, 7044 Sierra. Good day.